Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 bringing to you another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series, and all I've got to say is, wow, oh my god. I have just seen the conclusion to the Royal Rumble 2023, and I was absolutely blown away by this moment. And as a wrestling fan of more than 25 plus years now, this was the best ending I have ever seen for a pay-per-view in recent years. And I highlight those two words, recent years, because as I mentioned already, I've been a wrestling fan for well over 25 plus years or more. And I feel in recent years, WWE shows have become too predictable, too lazy in the writing. The creative's been on snooze mode. Same old, nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing exciting. Maybe a couple little rare moments here and there, but for the most part, it's just not been that great. But there has been one story that's kept me glued for nearly every single week. It's kept me captivated, and that's the Roman Reigns / Bloodline with Sami Zayn. It's just been incredible. And I've said before that since Roman Reigns turned heel back in 2020, which is almost 3 years ago now, Roman Reigns has been putting out the best work of his career as the head of the table / tribal chief, with Paul Heyman by his side as his wise man. And he's formed the bloodline with his cousins, the Usos, and we've just seen Solo added to the mix. And then they've made Sami Zayn an honorary member of the bloodline, and now he's become an Uso. You know, that moments with the Usos thing and making everyone break character. You know, Sami Zayn has just been a real breath of fresh air for the bloodline. And for everyone, really. I feel everyone's been putting out the best work of their career. But the story that WWE have been telling has just been amazing. You know, is Sami Zayn going to turn on the bloodline? Are the bloodline going to turn on Sami Zayn? Will they, won't they? You know, it's just been great television, in my opinion. And, you know, the thing about this storytelling, for me, is it's old school storytelling at its very best. Because I feel with a lot of the stories that WWE have told in recent years, it's just been a blink and you'll miss it sort of thing. It's been so rushed, but with this story in particular, you know, it's just been slowly building. You knew an explosion was coming. You knew it was coming. You just didn't know when. And back in December, when Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns lost to John Cena and Kevin Owens, you knew something was coming. We had that great trial of Sami Zayn on Raw for the 30th anniversary, and Roman Reigns found him not guilty, you know, and then Solo was about to deliver the Samoan spike to Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso stopped him. You know, the story's just been incredible, and I thought what was going to happen. I thought that maybe Sami Zayn would enter the Royal Rumble and he'll win it, and maybe that was where the explosion would take place, but it didn't happen. Something else did. So we get to the main event, which was Kevin Owens challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal title, both belts on the line. And I knew something was going on because traditionally, as I said, I've been a wrestling fan for over 25 plus years. I always remembered the Royal Rumble match closed out the show. The championship match closed out the show. So it was obvious to me that, something's going to happen here. Obviously, there was rumours going around that The Rock could appear. Maybe he might enter the Royal Rumble match, or he might come out at the end of the show. There was supposed to be a planned thing where all of the tribal elders would come out on Raw and acknowledge Roman Reigns. That got changed, which I'm glad they did. And I'll get to why I'm glad they did. So something obviously was going to happen. So Roman Reigns retained his titles. They destroyed Kevin Owens. They handcuffed him to the ropes, which to me brought back memories of like the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era, or even WCW with the NWO when they handcuffed Ric Flair and beat up his son. You know, it brought back memories of like old school wrestling. You know, where the factions beating down someone and he's handcuffed. It just, I loved it. I really did. And you know, Roman Reigns passed the chair to Sami Zayn. He said, "You do it." And he said, "Oh," you know, and you could see Sami Zayn looking conflicted, and you know, you knew something was going to happen. And then it happened. Sami Zayn struck Roman Reigns in the back with the chair. And the way Roman Reigns dropped, and I remember this moment in particular, the look on his face, it looked like his life flashed before his eyes. It was almost like his way of saying, "Oh no, not again," because it brought back flashes of 2014 when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield, when he struck Roman Reigns in the back with a chair and then he just destroyed Dean Ambrose. That's what it reminded me of, but the crowd absolutely, they were magic. They added so much magic to it, because that's another thing. The crowds have been so into it. And I feel that's very important when you're telling a good story, whether it's wrestling, whether it's a movie, whether it's a series. If you've got the right characters with good writing, you can go anywhere. And when Sami Zayn hit Roman Reigns in the back with the chair, the place went nuts. I couldn't believe it. I thought, did that just really happen? Did that just happen? And then the bloodline just absolutely destroyed Sami Zayn. The booze was just incredible. You know, brought back memories of good old fashioned wrestling of like the 90s or early 2000s. And while this is going on, you see Jey Uso's just standing there conflicted while this is going on. And to me, this segment, this ending, reminded me of an old fashioned gangster movie where Roman Reigns, he's like the mob boss, and he tells his henchmen, take out the honorary guy, and they all start beating him up and destroying him. And you got the other member of the mob, he's standing there, he doesn't want to get involved. And yeah, it was just unbelievable. And Roman Reigns is like beating him up and saying things like, "You're my family! My family! This is my life!" You know, it's just unbelievable. And just when things couldn't get any more shocking, Jey Uso leaves the ring. Now, this kind of ties into something that happened 3 years ago. Now, when Roman Reigns first turned heel, he wanted Jey Uso on his side, and Jey was like, "No, I'm not going with you." And he forced him to attack his brother Jimmy Uso. It kind of reminded me of that as well. So obviously that's going to play a huge part at some point later on in this story. But Sami Zayn just laid out, they rip the shirt off, and they throw all the rosebuds on him. Intense stuff. And the fans just crapped on Roman Reigns and the bloodline. And that Samoan spike to Sami Zayn, it made my whole body jump. I was like, oh my god. It just looks so painful. And yeah, it was unbelievable. As I said, the best ending I have ever seen for a wrestling pay-per-view in recent years. If they walked into the show, that's who I'm talking about, the bloodline, if they walked into the show with heat, they walked out of the pay-per-view with radioactive heat. The bloodline walked out of the Royal Rumble 2023 as enemies number one. Wow. Unbelievable. So the question I ask now is, where do we go from here? Could Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens team up to face the Usos at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Tag Team titles? I think that's a possibility. And WWE have announced that at the next pay-per-view, which is Elimination Chamber, it's going to be Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns for the titles, and it's in his hometown of Canada, and it's in Montreal. I smell a screw job coming. It's Montreal. We've seen screw jobs happen in the past. It's Montreal. There's bound to be a screw job. Now, some fans have been saying that, oh, Sami Zayn needs to beat Roman Reigns for the titles. Yeah, I would have said that if Cody Rhodes didn't win the Royal Rumble. Then yeah, maybe you could have had that. But personally, I'm not really sure where you could go with this. You could have Sami Zayn come close to winning the titles, but not actually win it because you still got Cody Rhodes who won the Royal Rumble and you need that match. Now, you could make it a triple threat, but personally, I'd rather not see a triple threat match. I'd much rather see a one-on-one match, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, because, quite frankly, Cody Rhodes has come this far, and I'd like to see him be the guy to defeat Roman Reigns. But however, if you was to go a different direction, maybe Sami Zayn beats Roman Reigns for the titles. Could be like a Daniel Bryan feel-good moments, But I don't know, really. We'll just have to see. But I think for me personally, I'd like to see Sami Zayn come very close to winning the title, but he doesn't win. But I'm not really sure how you could pay the story off. But so far, I'm trusting WWE to do the right thing. But the ending for the Royal Rumble, for me, will go down as the best ending of 2023. I can't see any other pay-per-view ending topping this. It's tough. We're only in the first month. We'll be in the second month of this year, by Wednesday. But we'll see. But holy cow, this ending just blew me away. And the crowd were magic. Everybody here just done an amazing job. And in a way, I'm kind of glad The Rock wasn't involved because I love The Rock as much as the next guy, but I personally glad WWE went with this. They did the right thing, as they always say. They did what was best for business, and this was excellent business. I am so looking forward to SmackDown this week. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I want to know why Jey Uso walked out, and I want to know why Sami Zayn struck Roman Reigns. There's so many questions being asked. Hopefully we'll get them answered this week, maybe on Raw. If not, it will definitely be SmackDown for sure. So we'll just have to see, really. But holy cow, this ending was amazing. This wasn't just a typical wrestling segment. This was cinematic viewing. This was tremendous. Brilliant stuff. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What was your thoughts on the ending for the Royal Rumble 2023? Did you think they did a great job? Why do you think Sami Zayn struck Roman Reigns with the chair? Why did Jey Uso walk out of the ring? Why did he turn his back on the bloodline? Do you think we'll get to the answers on SmackDown? And also, where do you see the story going next? What do you think could happen when we get to the next part? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening, and excellent job by WWE.